Welcome! Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Hulk!
Jacques,
Hulk!
3-0, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how you cut the cake, 3-0.
Win is a win.
Win is a win. Woo! Man.
I mean, it was a rough win. It almost gave me a heart attack. It almost gave you a heart attack. It almost gave Titans Nation a heart attack. So, win is a win, dog. And
man. I don't know if you guys can see it on this camera, man. I'm sweating right now on the top of my forehead. It's man, dude, it's crazy. How you feel 0-3, but you're 3-0?
That's how I feel. This was a terrible win. This is a win that I feel like, okay, even though we won, it's like we kind of found ways to win, but I'm not confident going into the rest of the season of how we're winning, right?
That's right, man.
We're winning on the skin of our teeth, right?
Yep.
Now, I was listening to Blaine Bishop on the 104.5 The Zone, and he brought up a stat and a point. He said when the Titans went to the Super Bowl that year, those games were close as well, right?
Okay.
And it was true. I had to go back and look at it. Those games were close, but at the same time, as the season went on, they kind of started leading the pack and separating themselves from the mediocre teams, right?
Okay.
We knew, and at the beginning of the season when we did our prediction show, Hawk had us, I think, winning this game. No, you had us losing this game, and I had us winning this game, right?
Right.
And it was one of those things we knew going into the season. I'm like, okay, hey, we have a legit chance to beat Minnesota, but I didn't think Minnesota was going to be this bad.
Exactly. Right.
But just looking at Minnesota, they should be kicking themselves in the foot.
Yes, they should be.
Literally, that don't make no sense, but they should be kicking themselves literally because they threw this game and they lost this game. But it's typical Kirk Cousins style. That's what Kirk Cousins is. You know what I mean?
And bad teams know how to lose. And, we spoke on our show. I would say this, about 85% of the things we said on the show happened. I think the only thing that we said was that we would beat them by a big number, right? We both was thinking we would just mollywop these guys with the concerns of certain things. And we'll talk more about that. And those concerns did happen. They happened. That's why we almost lost. Yep. And so we'll talk about that. But, Minnesota, I was, saying I was watching some of their podcasts, how the podcasters just feel the Minnesota Vikings just stink. Tank for Trevor Lawrence and all these different things or whatever. I don't really think they're that bad of a football team. They had a lot of injuries on defense. Offensively, you got Dalvin Cook, you got Justin Jay. You got guys that can put the ball in the end zone, right? But Minnesota's not a playoff team, and we keep playing down to our competition. We are a better football team than the Minnesota Vikings, ladies and gentlemen. And from the looks of this game and even the Jacksonville and the Denver game, we're neck and neck with these teams. But at the end of the day, we are 3-0. And good football teams, no matter what, they find ways to win, okay? Things happen for good football teams. Sometimes football teams win off luck, off circumstances from other teams. Hey, if that happens, it happens. How many games we've lost in our past in our organization where we've given up the game, right? Now we're getting that back on our side, right? So congratulations, Tennessee. We're 3-0, man. We're 3-0.
We're getting that revenge, man. And just going back to your point, we found ways to win, right?
Yep.
We're finding ways to win, and great football teams. Now, if this was 2 years ago, we would have found a way to lose the game, right?
Exactly.
We would have lost it, literally. Yep. So, like you said, big ups to Minnesota. Y'all not trash.
Nope.
Y'all have some pieces that y'all need to put together. Kirk Cousins is okay, but I understand Minnesota's gripe about Kirk Cousins and him not being that quarterback that they signed to a multi-year $1 million deal. I get it, but we knew Dalvin Cook, and like you said, go back to our show. We were 85% right about Dalvin Cook going off and our DBs being trash.
Yes, exactly. It did. So, Jacques, we won the football game, ladies and gentlemen. Want to say as well, happy birthday to my mom. She watches the show. Happy birthday to you, Mom. We've already talked to you and everything. Just want to say happy birthday to you as well. Taylor Lewan is hurt. I hope he's okay. I know he hurt his shoulder. For a minute, I thought he had a concussion. They were saying it was his shoulder. He got wheeled off, so I'm hoping he's okay. We need him because Sambrello struggled early, man. But so we won the game, Jacques, at the end of the day. And very proud of the Titans sticking in there and getting the victories. And we're 3-0, ladies and gentlemen, number one in the AFC and the AFC South. Awesome job. So give us 2 reasons as to why you think we won this football game.
Well, one reason is Gostkowski, okay? We gave him a hard time the first game, which rightfully so. I mean, we used to mediocre kickers that miss field goals, suck up. So we knew going into the season we needed a kicker. And I guess the myth behind kickers and they have their traditions and their rituals actually works, because when he took the sock off, he hasn't really missed a kick besides the extra point last week. But when we need a 3-point conversion or a 3-point, like just 3 points, he's been able to nail them. He was able to nail one for 55, 45, in that 50 range. And I'm now, okay, I'm confident in Grzkowski. I think he was what? I think he had 4 or 5 field goals.
5 for 5 today, man.
Yeah, 5 or 5 field goals. So with us getting those points when our offense was struggling, trying to put points on the board, which we actually should have been up like 40. We should have put 45, at least 49 points up. From
Facts, no paper.
So to me, it's Grzkowski, man. He was able to do his thing and make those field goals when we needed him in those critical times. Right. So big ups to him. Second reason is the offense started clicking. We needed a one drive just to get it going. I think we were down. I want to say in the second half, I think the Minnesota Vikings went 3 and out. And I think it was that interception Joseph had and that crackback block that Clowney did. We got the penalty and we didn't score any points. Dang. At that point, the offense had stalled out again. But it was that drive after that when Henry was able to get going. And Henry was able to get that motor going and find those lanes and get that confidence. I think the offense got that confidence. So what I'm starting to see now is, yes, the offense goes through Tannehill. Tannehill is the leader. But really, if Henry has that confidence to the point where Henry is going and he gets going and he gets those runs and those 15-yard runs here, those 5-7-yard pickups here, the offense seems to gain confidence and seems to get that confidence about him. Hey, this is Titans football. This is what got us to the AFC Championship. So if you notice, you've seen a different team. Henry got going on that first drive. Then that second drive we came out, Henry ran. The defense had to respect Henry. Had to come up in the box, and that play action opened up. Khalif Raymond caught that, 60-yard pass? So once we were able to get back on track and become the old Titans of old, then we were able to, get those points that we needed. Henry scored 2 touchdowns. Tannehill didn't throw a touchdown. He threw a pick. Yes, that was an awful pick. But at the same time, we were able to play that complementary football on offense because our defense struggled, and we struggled bad. So when we needed our offense to step up, we stepped up. So for me, those were the 2 keys of the game, how we were able to win the games. What about you, Hawk?
Man, that's right on point, Jacques, dude. I mean, bro, that's a hell of a breakdown, man. To add to that, the reason why we won this football game is due to play action, right? You know, Minnesota knew to try to stack the box against Derrick Henry, and as the game kept going on, Derrick Henry kept eating and got better as the game wore on. I mean, again, Derrick Henry had 119 yards rushing, ladies and gentlemen, almost at 5 yards a carry. So, you have to look at 2 touchdowns as well. But because of that, that's what allowed Khalif Raymond to go off. Khalif Raymond on 3 catches had 118 yards today. That's the 4th most yards this week in the NFL, and it was through Khalif Raymond. Looking like Khalif Raymond at the end of last year, right? Which helped us to make it to the AFC Championship is the play action. I still think people don't really realize how fast Khalif Raymond is when he goes to north and south route running, right? Like he's fast. And so I think the running of Derrick Henry, even the fact of Ryan Tannehill throwing a lot of intermediate passes to Jonnu Smith. Jonnu caught every ball thrown to him. Corey Davis caught every ball thrown to him. Adam Humphries did the same. Exactly. Khalif did too, because Khalif had a terrible game 1. It was awful, right? But everyone made plays. Ryan Tannehill was throwing the ball, evenly distributing it out to everybody. I mean, Jonnu Smith was getting lit up in the middle. Corey Davis was getting hit. Adam Humphries, and they still was holding on the football. I was like, wow, they're holding on the ball. As soon as they're getting caught, boom, they're getting tackled. But because of that concentration in the middle, that's what allowed Khalif Raymond to be open down the seams, man, and making those 3 big catches. And again, that just changed the game with those big plays. So we need that more and more out of Khalif Raymond. It might be hard to do that every game, but, man, if you sucker them in and they forget about 14 out there, keep utilizing that. Play action really made a difference in this game. That's what opened it up. Secondly, we stay true to who we are, man. We are a running team, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The offensive line early in the first half, I felt they were getting pushed off the line. I think as the game kept wearing on, the offensive line did a lot better, especially the inside. Again, Hope Taylor Lewan is doing well. But I do feel the offensive line got better as the game went on, and Derrick Henry kept getting more yards. They stayed with it. We didn't panic. I like that a lot about the Titans. We always seem to be cool in those situations. We don't panic. We don't turn the ball over. We've only had 1 turnover all season. And so we did a heck of a job staying true to our identity. We are a running football team. So great job to Tennessee. Great job, man. Great job.
Yep. So, Hawk, we know we won the game. We know offensively we've been gelling. That's what's been keeping us in these games, literally offense, right?
Yes.
If this was years in past, man, 0-3, we would have been 0-3.
Yes.
Now, going forward, there is some major concerns, man. Major concerns.
Yep.
On the other side of the ball, okay?
Yep.
What concerns you, not just from this game, but the games going forward? What concerns do you have, my brother?
Man, dude. Defense. Defense. Their defense. So we spoke on the pregame show just 2 days ago as to how we could lose to the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the clip. What are some reasons as to why we can lose against these Minnesota Vikings?
Titans, not familiar, we struggle, okay? You've seen it last year when we played Garden Minshew. We didn't have no tape on them. Nothing. So we didn't know our opponent, literally. So when the Titans go into unfamiliar territory, they tend to struggle a little bit, but also tend to prevail. But it's just the big thing with us is not being focused in the secondary. The secondary, especially our corners, are going to really have to step up. This is a game that if you can't stop Adam Thielen, Tajay Sharp, Jefferson, then what happens when you play against Juju Smith-Schuster? What happens when you play these premier receivers? Now, granted, we don't have
Facts, no paper. I think how we can lose this football game is if we don't keep number 33 in check in purple, and that's Dalvin Cook, okay? The very talented running back who just signed a big contract last week, deservingly so. Dalvin Cook is their best player. Flat out, he's their best weapon. You know, Dalvin Cook hasn't had a big year so far. He's only had 113 yards rushing, but he does have 4.3 yards per carry, and he has 3 touchdowns. Now, you see on the clip, we talk about having to stop Dalvin Cook. We didn't do that. Jacques spoke upon the DBs playing like trash, and they have been. We didn't do a good job either. I mean, Justin Jefferson, the rookie, had 175. I was like, is that Randy Moss? Is that the rookie Minnesota receiver, Randy Moss? That's who he looked like out there. There was no stopping him. He was chopping up Malcolm Butler left and right. And then a long touchdown was on Jonathan Joseph. So, for me, our concerns have always been with the Titans. If you have a good running back, you can beat us. If you have a good tight end, it's a good chance you can beat us too. But definitely the running back position, man. And Dalvin Cook is a hell of a running back. He really is. And we spoke upon that on our show. We did. We said that. So, my concern is this. As the season wears on, man, we're going to be facing some really good teams, even Pittsburgh and different teams who have very good running backs and very good receivers. My concern is if we play those teams and they have a good defense as well to go with it, it's going to be tough for us to win, man. I'm telling you. You know, we was even, you know, when you look at our defense, I mean, you know, we didn't do well, man. We didn't. Dalvin Cook was getting whatever he wanted, man. He was in the open space, running up and down the field. Our DBs aren't tackling. Kevin Byard is not tackling well this season right now. He's taking bad angles. I don't think Rashaan Evans is doing that well this year in tackling. I think the only guy who's really making tackles and differences is Jeffrey Simmons and Kenny Vaccaro, right? Everyone else is just kind of not playing strong. Now, Jock, you've made mention the issues of preseason, not playing and things like that, where, you know, players are not really used to tackling because they've been out so long, whatever. Maybe that's the case. But regardless, if you compare us to other teams defensively, we're one of the worst in the league, okay? Before the game started, we were number 27 in total defense. So it's not going to be any better from this game, right? I mean, Dalvin Cook had 180. How many yards? 181 yards rushing? Justin Jefferson had 175 yards receiving. That's unbelievable. So think if Minnesota was a good football team. We would have got whooped. We would have had a can of whoop ass during this game. So that's a huge concern. Defense, guys, y'all got to step it up. Y'all got to step it up, man. Where's Dean Pease at? Call Dean Pease. Call somebody. Vrabel, can you do this? Golly, man. So what about for you, sir? Man, bro.
I mean, literally, what if you go back and look at our shows we did in the summertime, and I think we did a couple of collaboration shows, and I don't know if this is one we did with TA or Titan Upload, but literally, my concern and the Hawks' concern was the defense going into the season. That was a problem, dog. When you don't have a defensive coordinator, it's starting to show, okay? Now, I don't know if Rabel is truly calling the plays or what, but what I seen today was miscommunication in the secondary. Super miscommunication. And you know, Hawk, you play DB, I play DB. It's important for you to communicate, literally. Because if we in cover 3, right, and I got deep thirds and you come down and you don't come back up, we got a problem, right?
Yep.
We in cover 2, I'm looking for safety top over the help, or where's my safety, right? That blue play on Jefferson, it was on Joseph. I'm literally looking like, dude, what are you doing on this side? First of all, what are y'all doing in the same vicinity? That's first. I'm like, okay, why is Joseph and Butler in the same vicinity? It's like somebody's playing cover 2 and somebody's playing 3. I'm like, what's going on, right?
Yep.
And he comes back in the inside, he's gone, literally. Okay, so I see, like you just said earlier, Hawk, and you iterated, Simmons and Vaccaro are playing out their mind. Okay, we have a problem. Okay, we can't stop the run.
Nope.
Rashaan Evans is not living up to how he was playing last year. And even it goes back to Jayon Brown is disappointing, okay? On that touchdown that Rudolph caught, what was Will Compton doing? He was literally standing there.
He was, bro.
He was standing there. I said,
Fact,
okay.
no paper, bro.
I said, what is he doing just standing there looking? Will, what are you doing, bro? I would trust David Long in that situation versus trusting Compton. You see what I'm saying? I'm not worried about the offense. Now, you would think you would have worried about the offense going into the season versus the defense, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We still have the same personnel as last year, but this goes to show you why it's important to have a defensive coordinator. Because when you don't have a defensive coordinator, you still have the same personnel, but you're struggling, that's a problem, right? It looks like they don't know what they're doing out there, literally. I'm looking at Byard. I'm like, he looks a little lost. I'm looking at – now, I'm going to say this about the rookie Christian Fulton. One gripe I have, and this is my biggest gripe, no adjustments made, okay? If I see Butler struggling with Jefferson, and I have Christian Fulton, who was his college teammate at LSU, and he knows his tendencies because of course, you practice against the best in practice, right? Iron sharpens iron, okay? I would say, hey, Christian, hey, you need to go guard Jefferson. Ain't no hard feelings, Butler. Hey, I'm gonna bump you down to Thielen. Go to get Thielen because Thielen is a little lighter. He's not as quick as Jefferson, but he's a little lighter. I know, hey, man to man, put Fulton on Jefferson man to man. Fulton, that's your assignment all game. You're man to man to Jefferson. A mano, right? I would have had more confidence in that. I seen Joseph get burnt. I seen Butler get burnt. Now, granted, Fulton did have a sack. I said, okay, Fulton is a playmaker. We need to get Fulton more involved. I don't know if he don't know the offense. I don't know if he's still hurt. I don't know what's going on. But we miss Adoree Jackson, and we have to have Adoree Jackson.
Yes.
This is my and we haven't had a concern with the secondary, bro. This is my first concern in a long time of having a concern with the secondary. Hell, four years ago, we had Parrish Cox. Blake, what was his name? Blake kid. He was a corner.
I know you're talking about.
Blake. We had Blake. And those corners were trash, but we were at least able to adjust because we had Dick LeBeau, right?
Right.
We had Dean Pease. Well, hell, what are you doing, Vrabel? Right? I mean, it's frustrating, man. We have a championship team, but you're stubborn. You're so stubborn that you don't want to go out and hire our defensive coordinator. Come on, bro.
Yep.
Come on.
I agree. And speaking of Justin Jefferson, Jacques, you know this. So in the I got to bring this up, man. I have to bring this up. In the pre-draft show, Jacques, I said, who should we draft in the first round? I said Justin Jefferson. We need a wide receiver. And to show that, I'm showing this clip. Here it is right here. You lead the nation in something. Did you have the most catches, most interceptions? Given that I know how he operates, Justin Jefferson is my guy from LSU, man. Number 2, the fancy wide receiver there. The only question I have for this guy is will he be available? The reason why I think he actually will be available because he ran a 4.5 in the 40. Okay, I know some people are like, oh, it's kind of slow. No, it's not really slow. All right, so we won the football game. I mean, we're very optimistic here. We won. I mean, we're not upset. But if you watch the game, you'll understand our concerns about our defense. We're not speaking on our offense at all. We're speaking on our defense, man. Our defense, they have to step it up. They really do. And because we put so much money on them. So in saying that, Jacques, who's the player of the game for you for the Titans, man?
Steven Gostkowski, or Gostkowski, however you want to say it.
Yep.
I mean, he stepped up. He stepped up. He did what he had to do.
He sure did, man.
He got us, what, five field goals?
Yep.
When we needed him to kick a 55-yarder, the game winner?
Yep.
He did it.
He actually was 6 for 6.
Oh, excuse me. 6 for 6. Okay.
6 for 6.
That's 6. That's points that was left. People, we could have beat them easily 45, 49.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You turn our field goals into touchdowns. Right?
Yep.
6 for 6. My play of the game, Steven. Hey, I wasn't going to go hard on you, bro. I wasn't going to go hard on you. You here. I believe in you. You've kicked game winners with the Patriots. You kicking every game we've had. Listen to this, Stan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every game we've played this year, it's been what? By a field goal, and it's been by Steve. Gostkowski.
Right.
Literally.
Yep. 3 games, 3 game winners.
Yep. 3 game winners.
Yep.
My play of the game, him. What about you?
Steven Gostkowski, the GOAT right now. Exactly, man. I mean, hey, the Memphis product, hey, he's doing what he did in New England, man. You know, hey, he was at a Hall of Fame level. I mean, let's pick that back up. Hopefully get back to that type of playing. You know what I mean? For me, is the guy that I felt was going to be the player of the game, and this is jersey I'm wearing right here, right? Y'all see that at 22? Derrick Henry, man.
It was quiet.
It was quiet. But 119 yards rushing on 26 carries, man. That's 4.5 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns, right? Derrick Henry controlled the game, especially in the third quarter. The third quarter, we scored 16 points. Derrick Henry was a main part of this, right? So I got to give Derrick Henry his props. Again, I don't know where he is right now. I know he was number 2 in rushing before this game. I'm sure he'd probably be number 1 or number 2 right now from this game or whatever. You know, we knew going into the game that Minnesota can't stop the run. We said that clearly on the show. They can't stop the run, and they were unable to, right? There were times they made some good plays, but Derrick Henry was chunking up yards in the third quarter, and the fourth quarter just got better. So I give Derrick Henry a lot of props. I give the offensive line a lot of props as well. In the second half, they were blocking very well. So for me, King Henry, sir.
And if you notice something too, Tannehill's not getting sacked.
Facts.
He's not getting sacked like in years past. Literally.
Yes.
Tannehill hasn't taken many sacks. That's probably a combination of him getting the ball out in the pass offense, in the pass blocking is a lot better. It's weird because you think the run blocking would be awesome, but the pass blocking, literally, I'm like, okay, he hasn't taken many sacks, dog. So, hey, facts. Go back to Henry, like I said earlier. When Henry is himself, the offense is their selves, right?
Correct.
So, hey, yes, we got the Steelers next week. Yep. We got the Bills the following week, and we got the Texans the following week, right?
Yep.
These next 3 games gonna be hell.
It is.
It's gonna be a grit.
Yes.
Now we know something that Vrabel ain't doing. He ain't making no adjustments.
Facts. So no paper.
We gonna do it for him. Give me some adjustments we need to do, or we needs to happen to go forward in these next 3 games. Because these are critical. These are AFC games. These games can determine opposition in the playoffs. These games can determine home field advantage. These are important games. If we would have lost this game, I would have been sad, but I wouldn't have been as sad because it's an NFC game. But it's good to be 3-0. Give me some adjustments, bro.
So this is a great segue into this question because for me, man, we have played Denver, the Jags, and the Vikings. Do any of these teams you think of their offense being like this great? No. They're bottom half, if not bottom 20% of the league when you talk about offense, especially the Vikings. They were 30th in the league before this game. Now they're leaving the game feeling confident upon their offense. So for me, you have to make adjustments on defense, man. If I'm Mike Vrabel, now my understanding is that he has Jim Haslett, right? If I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm looking in the mirror like, I'm not really doing that good of a job right now. You have to look at numbers. In I don't care where you work, there's always a number, a goal to meet, right? And if you're not there, then you need to look to see, okay, it might be some adjustments I need to make. Maybe game 1, game 2, cool. It's been 3 games, and we have sucked on these offenses. These offenses they're not good offenses. So the adjustment I would make is Can we bring somebody in, man, to kind of help me out on defense, man? Can we bring Jim Haslett from his home and he calling me on the cell phone, bring him to the game, have him sit down, and let's discuss these things. Practice tomorrow. We need to look at this because we got the Steelers coming to town. We got Juju Smith-Schuster. We got Ben Roethlisberger. We got James Conner coming to town, coming to Nashville next week, right? Man, look, you talk about an offense. Hey, if we're giving up 30 points and 31 points to Minnesota and Jacksonville, you don't think Pittsburgh's sitting there licking their chops like, oh, okay. You don't think Big Ben is like, shoot, this is why I come out of retirement, man. This is why I'm here. You don't think Juju is like, man, we don't need no Antonio Brown. I'm here. So we need to make wholesale adjustments. We need to bring in Jim Haslett or we need to hire somebody. I think right now Vrabel's putting too much on himself, man. I think he's overextending himself. You only can play with the players that you have. You know, Adoree Jackson won't be playing this. Well, he might be playing the next game because he's spent 3 games.
I think they said he's going to be out a little longer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the players you have is who you have. And I still feel it's, you know, when you look at the roster defensively, we look better than we did last year when you look at the names on the roster, but we're playing a lot worse. Something's got to be done or we're going to be in trouble, right? It could be scheme. It could be so many things. I think we need another voice. I think we need someone that's just like, look, this is what I do. I'm a defensive coordinator. That's all I worry about. Mike Vrabel, he's on defense. He's being a coordinator. Then we get back on offense. He's not with the defense talking to them. He's not breaking down tape. He's talking to his offense, right? We need somebody. Yes, we need somebody that's in their tail coaching. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So for me, we need to make a wholesale adjustment. We need to look at another coach. You know, another defensive coordinator or something, or to relinquish him from doing those duties, man. So what for you, bro?
So, I mean, it's the defense. Literally, you got, like you said, you got Jim Haslett, who has, I think he coached defense. And he was with the Saints. He was head coach with the Saints. We know that.
Right.
Bring him he's already on the coaching staff. Bring him up as a consultant, literally. Or you need to be consulting with Dean Pease or somebody to get some advice, literally. Either do that or and they go back to what you just said. That's a good point. You know, when you're a defensive coordinator, you're in the box, right?
Yep.
Coordinating with your defense, you say, hey, this is what we need here. You can concentrate. You can literally analyze and be like, hey, we need to add this. We need to add that. We need to add this. We need to add that. We need to add this. We need to add that, right? So this is the problem. The problem is that, hey, Mike Vrabel don't have time to do that. And you just said it, literally. He doesn't have time to literally sit there and say, hey, guys, I see a scheme adjustment here. Here's adjustment here. Just boom, boom, boom. Now, something that did give me hope was that last drive that the Minnesota Vikings had an opportunity to go down and get a field goal, right? If you didn't really look at the film or pay attention, Harold Landry was on the field, Jeffrey Simmons, Vic Beasley, and Jadeveon Clowney at the same time. That's why we were able to get that pressure. Big Jeff was able to push that pressure inside. He was able to do certain things. You had Harold out there. You can't account for that, right? So we got to figure out how to get all them on the field at the same time to where we're getting pressure on the defense, right?
Yep.
But we have to make adjustments in the second because if one ain't clicking, all ain't clicking, right?
Yep.
You have to make in-game adjustments and personnel adjustments also. If you see Butler struggling with Juju, hey, okay, what's your strengths? Hey, Fulton, go in there. We're gonna put you out there and see what you good. He's our future, right? Butler's not our future. Butler's probably gone after this season. We paying you $10 million, bro, to be trash, right? No. Put Juju out there. Put Fulton out there and see what we have, okay? That's how you make in-game adjustments. But going forward, man, we got Josh Allen. We got Ben. We got Big Ben. And we got Watson. And all three of them, I don't care what you say, are playing lights out, right? And we play a physical team in the Bills where we historically, if everybody goes back and look, we really haven't beat the Steelers. Tell me the last time we beat the Steelers.
It's been a long time, bro.
Been a long time, right?
I was at the Pittsburgh game 2 years ago when they beat us and beat us handily. Yes.
And they beat us handily. They historically beat us. When's the last time we beat the Bills?
Been a long time, bro. Music City Miracle, maybe?
Maybe, right? We know we split with the Texans. The Texans are 0-3. They can easily be 0-4, 0-5, 0-6 by then. All of a sudden, hey, they ain't got nothing to lose. Yep. We know we have either even if we got a good game there or we don't have a good game. So something that Vrabel's going to have to do, like you just said, look in the mirror, and he has to say, hey, I'm trash, right? You have the talent. We have more talent this year on defense than we did last year, right?
Yep.
Should be no excuses. No excuses. And what I'm seeing is maybe they put all the focal point into Jadeveon Clowney and thinking he was going to come in and be the savior, because it's almost like a Band-Aid. Think about it. Hey, I'm going to go get my guy, JD. I'm going to put all my eggs in that basket and think he's going to get me 2 or 3 sacks a game. JD ain't really done nothing for these past 3 games, right? But I remember I told you the Titans win as a collective. They're not one unit. There's not one guy out there, maybe Henry, that you can say, okay, hey, his one guy can take over a game, or he can take over this and do it. It's like basketball. You got one guy that can take over the game. Football, you can't do that. But some instances, it can be rare where it can happen, right?
Yep.
So on defense, we have to figure out, hey, collectively, how can we make plays? How can we stop Big Ben? It's either going to have to be the pass rush or the secondary. Right now, the secondary can't do it. You got to drop some blitzes. You got to get creative. And that's something Vrabel that he can't do because he's a head coach. I mean, what is he going to call? Razzle-dazzle play? Say, hey, we're going to send – I mean, whoever called that play to send Fulton, that was Dean Pease-like, right?
Yep.
That was Dean Pease-like, just the delayed blitz and send Fulton. So we need a little bit more of creativity to come out of that. And I don't know – like I said, we don't know how deep Vrabel's to calling the plays. So for me, man, I'm super concerned. Those are the adjustments that we can do going forward, but let's see if it happens. It ain't happening right now, so we'll see if it happens when they play the Steelers. So we'll see.
Yep. And like I say, ladies and gentlemen, we're not taking none away from this win. Hey, our offense. We're happy with our offense.
Yes.
And we do think we do have a playoff team. It's just a matter of us getting it together. And our defense, we have a hole we need to fix. Definitely. So
I agree.
Yep.
So I mean, like you said, just to iterate on that, we're not being Debbie Downers.
No,
we're just being honest.
Yep.
Just being honest. So.
Yep. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends our show. Thank you again as well for watching the show. We are 3-0, folks. Getting ready for Pittsburgh. Great win today by the Tennessee Titans against the Minnesota Vikings. Another nail biter. Great job to Stephen Gostkowski with the game winner. Again, let's keep pushing, folks. If you want to contact us, you can email us at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com, as well on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, and on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7.
And also remember, people, cut your notification bells on, because anytime we go live and we put out any new content, new video, you'll get notified. So just make sure you cut those on. And also, like I say every show, man, share the video. I mean, like the video, it gets us in the YouTube algorithm. That way, hey, you can bring you guys more content. So remember, like, share, subscribe to your auntie, your uncle, your cat, your dog, your roach. Tell everybody. So, hey, at the end of the day, we 3-0. It's a sad 3-0, but we 3-0. And let's get ready to get to the Pittsburgh Steelers and get ready. So tighten up.
Tighten up, baby. Tighten up. So to you and yours, folks, we will see y'all this week for the pregame of the Steelers game. Let's get it in, folks. Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.